The thing is, I did the test to prove him wrong. That was the whole point. My brother Marcus had been at it for months. He'd come over for Sunday dinner, pour a glass of wine, and slide it in casual. I just don't think mom and dad are who we think they are. That kind of thing. Honestly, I'd stopped engaging. I'd say, look, you've watched too many true crime podcasts. He'd shrug. Drop it. Bring it up again the next week. So I bought the kit. Not for me, for him. To shut him up. The results came in on a Thursday. I opened the email on my phone, sitting in my car in the work parking lot. I'd been expecting some kind of percentage breakdown, like 60% Irish, 20% something else, and a list of strangers I'd never meet. Instead, it said, 0 matches with anyone in the database. I scrolled down. The auto comparison with Marcus was already pulled up. He'd done his 8 months ago, like he'd said. We weren't related. Not as siblings, not as cousins. Not at all. I thought it was a lab error. Of course I did. That's the first thing anyone thinks. I called the company, they walked me through it, said the contamination rate was essentially nil, but they'd run it again at no charge. 2 weeks. I sat with it for 2 weeks and I didn't tell anyone. Second result came back the same. Flagged for additional review because of the original inquiry. Not contamination, not error. Okay, I thought. Mom, affair, something. Marcus had been right all along. I felt this weird relief that there was at least an explanation lined up. I bought 2 more kits. Sent one to Mom and one to Dad. Told them I was doing a family tree project. Neither of them matched me either. I want you to sit with that. Because I had to. Not my brother, not even my mother, not my father. Nobody. I started digging through my own paperwork. The box I'd taken when I moved out, birth certificate, vaccination records, hospital things. Paper clipped to my birth record was a small carbon copy admission slip with a number on it. Baby girl 47B. The handwriting was different from the rest of the file, like it had been added later. The other thing, and this killed me. The weight on my birth certificate was 7 pounds, 4 ounces. The weight on the admission slip was 6 pounds, 11. That was the moment I knew it wasn't an affair. I called the hospital. Cedarwood Memorial, told them I needed records for myself. They were polite, took my number, called back 2 days later, records request approved, would I like to come in? While I waited. I did the thing nobody admits they do. I Googled the hospital name with the words, lawsuit and infant. 3 results. 2 settlements. 1 ongoing. All sealed. But the local paper had a piece from 12 years ago about a woman named Joanne who'd filed a wrongful identification claim. The hospital had quietly settled. According to the article, she had insisted for 3 decades that the daughter she'd brought home wasn't her daughter. That the eyes were wrong. That the child didn't favor anyone. And she had been told gently and repeatedly that she was experiencing postpartum anxiety. I read the date Joanne's daughter was born. Same hospital. Same week. Same year as me. I went over to my parents' house on a Saturday. Sat across from my mom at the kitchen table, the one I'd done homework at for 15 years, and I put the test results down. I didn't say anything. She looked at the paper. She looked at me. She put her hand over her mouth. And what she actually said was, I always wondered. 32 years. She always wondered. She'd said something to a nurse the first night, and the nurse had told her she was tired. My dad had thought she was being crazy, and so had her sister, and so had everyone. After a while, she'd thought she was being crazy too. So she'd loved me. She'd raised me. And the doubt had just lived underneath everything, like a hum she'd learned to ignore. The DNA service had a function I hadn't used yet. Match search. I'd been so focused on what wasn't there, I hadn't looked at what was. 3 close matches, aunt level, cousin level. I sent one message. To a woman named Karen. I told her I think I might be your niece. I think there might have been a mistake at a hospital 32 years ago. She called me back within the hour. She was crying before I picked up. She said, "You need to call my sister. Right now. You need to call my sister." Joanne lives 2 states away. She drove to me. I didn't have it in me to fly. She came up the walk and I watched her from the front window. 65 years old. Silver hair pulled back. Walking careful, like she'd been holding her breath the whole drive. I opened the door before she got to it. She looked at me. Just looked. And then she said, very quietly, "There you are." She had been searching since I was 3. She had filed the lawsuit 12 years ago. She had hired 2 private investigators. She had given DNA to every database the moment they opened. She had never given up. Her own daughter, the one she'd raised, the one she'd loved, knew. Had known since she was a teenager. Had supported the search the whole way. Her name is Beth. She was waiting in the car because Joanne wanted the first hello to be just us. The lawsuit is in motion now. Cedarwood is settling, like they always do. My parents, the ones who raised me, are still my parents. That doesn't change. But there's a quietness between us now where there used to be certainty, and I don't know if that ever fully fills back in. Marcus, the brother who started all of this, he keeps apologizing for being right. What I think about is last Sunday. Beth came down for the day. We were in the kitchen making coffee, and she reached up for the cabinet over the stove, and I reached for it at the same time. Same angle, same hand. We both laughed before either of us said anything. I have a sister. That part I know. Then there's the mother who raised me. She suspected for 32 years. She loved me through it. She also said nothing. Half the people I've told this story to say what she did was the most loving thing she could do. The other half say silence isn't love. I've stopped trying to pick a side. Which side are you on?